that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
The regular parties didn't know nothing about the freak-off parties. He told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he slapped his mother.
Good morning. Watch out her way, y'all.
Hi, beautiful. Please don't let me hurt somebody.
Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. Outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care.
Janice Combs spent years pretending to be Diddy's mother, but she's had enough. Insiders say she's preparing to expose Diddy and the list of female celebs who participated in the Freakoffs, and she has very good reasons to do it. One of the biggest bombshells we got during the Diddy scandal is that no matter what Janice Combs claims, she is not Diddy's mother. She's actually his aunt, and his real mother was a prostitute. How do we know that? It was revealed by none other than music industry insider and whistleblower Jaguar Wright.
Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute and a whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy.
The thing is, real mother or not, Janice Combs had a big hand in making the Diddy of today. Whispers of her being involved in work have circulated for years.
Into his childhood, into what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh, yeah. He was, I'm going to say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She did say it just like that. Big tips.
Big tip and spending cheese.
Now, another person who has commented on Diddy's family is none other than his former bodyguard, Gene Deal. Gene wasn't a normal bodyguard. He was former law enforcement who actually knew what went on the streets and even kept Diddy in line for years before he turned fully into a monster once he quit. Gene exposed that Diddy's father was a traitor who was murdered for trying to snitch on his gang.
It was this gangster, right? He said, when you go there, kill the father and kill his son. And the guy said, his son is only a baby, 4 years old. He said, his father was a rat and he gonna grow up to be a rat too. It ain't no way that he gonna go down, you understand, and not take nobody with him. His father was murdered because he ratted out his team that he was working for. So you think he not gonna rat? Like father, like son, brother. That's what I believe.
Gene said this was confirmed by New York Freddie, one of the biggest gangsters in the area. Diddy's father used to work for him before being taken out.
We had cops on the payroll. He gave a cop, one of the cops brought information. He had the paperwork and he had Puff father take confession. He gave him $10,000 extra for it, right? Puff father told on their operation. New York Freddie told the guy who brought Puff father into his crew, you gotta handle it. I want it handled. Puff father was driving the cab. He met him on Central Park West and did what he did. And so I said to New York Freddie, I said, yeah, He said, and the guy who killed him was carrying the casket, crying the hardest at the funeral. I was like, oh.
In a separate interview after 50 Cent's Diddy, The Reckoning documentary came out, he doubled down on his story, narrating how Melvin Combs was nothing more than a wimp.
Her father was a ladies' man. You understand? He was doing a little drug dealing, but he wasn't that big-time drug dealer that he's trying to portray that his father was. He sold drugs to one of the undercovers that worked for them. They gave that undercover New York City police officer $10,000 for the tape. For the tape. And to see the handwritten statement that her father made against their crew. And he said the nigga who killed Puff father was the one that was carrying the casket, crying the hardest at the funeral. So when he tried to say that, yo, he was the son of a hustler, okay. He, and from what Tim Dog was saying about his mother and everything like that, his father was more so like a pimp than he was a drug dealer. Puff's father was murdered for trying to tell on Freddie Myers and their crew.
Now let's move on to why Janice Combs is leaking Diddy tapes and turning against her so-called son. It has a lot to do with the turbid relationship the two have. Gene, who saw them up close, revealed the creepy attitude Diddy had towards his mother. He also confirmed that Janice used to run a night ring.
You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also ladies of the night, a prostitution ring too, or these ladies was doing things other than modeling. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. Could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bruh. He's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother action like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them, that's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me.
The weirdest part was the fact that Janice likes to wear the same white nail polish Cassie testified that Diddy liked to see on his girls. Gene straight up said he treated his mother like his girlfriend.
And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing. You know what I mean? I'm looking at his mother and him on the couch, and both of them are getting IVs after one of the Diddy parties. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I wasn't there and I didn't know, but they showed them both getting IVs on the couch.
Another big story came out when Janice Combs was sued for helping Diddy steal money, and it was exposed that she knew all about the Freakoffs and even participated in them, which is how she knows all about the female celebs there.
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, yep.
That's from the Diddy Freakoff party. And I'm gonna say allegedly.
Ex-Bad Boy artist Chopper also talked about Janice's evil schemes and how she and Diddy worked together to try and keep the paper trail off of him.
Yeah, I want to say, what all do you think? Because even when they put up the warrant, I mean, not the warrant, but the bond, is a house in his mom's name that they're putting up for like 50 million. Like, how much does she own?
She is Bad Boy. You think it's Diddy. It's Janice Combs. Janice Combs is Bad Boy. Man, you don't actually sign to Diddy. His name is on a dotted line, but you actually sign it to Janice Combs.
Did he ever tell you why that is, or do you understand?
Oh, now that I'm older, I know exactly what it is. It's a paper trail, so nothing can come bite me.
Oh.
If you come for me, you ain't coming for me. I ain't got nothing. You going to my mama. Good luck with that. And then they got so much money that they can beat you in court with lawyers. Smoke your ass too.
Yeah.
For years. Smoke you.
Ex-Bad Boy President Kirk Burroughs also revealed that Diddy slapped his own mother, which may have led to a lot of pent-up resentment against the child she had once raised.
He told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he slapped his mother. And I was like, he did what? And Kirk Burroughs said, yeah. I just thought because of what he was going through with the tragedy, it was like, I was stuck on stupid for a minute, but he was like, yeah, I thought that he would grow out of it, or it was just because all the shit he was going through when he slapped his own mother. I said, Kirk, let me tell you something. I said, Kirk.
Gene Deal said that he should have known he wouldn't grow out of an attitude like that.
Don't you remember when I told you when he cussed his mother out? And I think you was even that, Kirk. When we was getting in the limousine, he cussed his mother out. He told his mother to stay out of his mofo business. And I told him, man, you ever talk to your mother? You remember that situation? He said, yeah. I said, Kirk, why you didn't tell me then that he that he slapped his mother? Because if you'd have told me to slap his mother, I'd have beat the shit out of him, Kirk. He was like, Gene, I thought he was, you got to realize he was just a kid, and I thought he was going to grow out of it and all the stuff that he was going through. I said, my man, that's a bunch of bullshit right there. You understand? Somebody should have whooped his ass way back then. When you do your mother like that, you don't care about no woman in the street. And he was like, I know, Gene, but he was just a kid. This came from Kirk Burroughs' mouth himself. I was like, yo, that shit is crazy. Had I known that back then, yeah, I wouldn't have worked for no dude like that, man.
His attitude toward his mother was a big indicator of what his true nature was like. If he would slap his mother at the slightest push when she was just trying to comfort him.
Yo, his mother got in the car. He was on the phone talking about somebody to something. And then he said to his mother, yo, didn't I tell you to stay out my MF business? Yo, I want to snatch the fucking shadow off him. I said, boy, who you talking to? I said, if you ever talk to your mother like that again, around me, I'm gonna beat the shit out you. Now, people don't know and people don't understand. Not only was I one of the leaders of the same gang, I had been around Puff and I seen him. Like when the kids ran him down the block the whole 9 yards. Me and Puff had been dealing with each other from the red zone to the building when they had unsigned hype and all that.
Gene said that he pointed out that if it wasn't for Janice, Diddy wouldn't have any business.
But Gene, I told her to stay out of business. Let me just say this to you right now. If she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. And Miss Combs sit there and quiet as a church mouse. And he ain't say nothing. He ain't say a word. Because he knew I was serious. I wasn't playing with him. Any man that put his hands on his mother or disrespect his mother, an ice cube in hell wouldn't last. On the way he feel about a damn woman. He'll quick to put his hands on a woman like that if he do his own mama.
One of the female celebs Janice Combs exposed is Naomi Campbell. Naomi has been fishy for years because she was once slammed on the internet for using donations to her charity to pay for first-class tickets, hotels, and living the high life.
Between Epstein and Diddy that we're not even paying attention to. And people who were regulars in the Epstein crew. Like, I'm still shocked that there's nothing about Naomi Campbell really coming forward yet. I'm surprised. I'm like bitterly surprised. Her time.
Yeah, they said her name was on the list like the most as far as like flight records.
Yeah.
She was on a lot of flights.
A lot of flights.
You mentioned
also Diddy's ex-girlfriend.
Hey.
Isn't that funny? What a small world.
A lot of these leaks came out in the days Janice was attending court looking haggled, with many even suspecting she was on drugs.
Good morning. Watch out her way, y'all.
Hi, beautiful.
Please don't let me hurt
So
somebody.
gorgeous.
Remember Miss Combs.
At the time, she seemed threatened into defending Diddy. That's not surprising, because even apart from the money she could lose because of him, if he could slap her, who's to say he wouldn't put a hit out on her if she tried to reveal the truth?
This article reads that Diddy's mother said that she's devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations against her son, but they are all lies. Janice defended her son, saying that he's made some mistakes in the past, which, wow, a 10-year-old boy being drugged by a soda and then R-worded? Yeah, that's a mistake. That's way worse than a mistake. Ugh, I hate this. She's saying that he's not the monster they have painted him to be. It's heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for the narrative created out of lies. She even goes on to try to defend him against Cassie and that video we saw of him attacking her. She says my son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying that he's ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend. Sometimes the truth and a lie can become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or too complicated to be believed. Which, girl, like, I did not order a word salad. Like, take it back to the kitchen. Concluding her statement, she said, it's truly agonizing to watch the world turn against my son so quickly over lies and misconception, adding that she believes that his accusers are motivated by money.
Another person Janice revealed to have regularly attended Diddy Freakoffs, even after their breakup, was none other than the infamous J-Lo, who tried to whitewash her image by marrying Ben Affleck. Except Janice's claim was backed by her ex-husband, Ojani Noah.
What? First of all, I want to say this. Jennifer, what did you do to that man? J-Lo, what did you do to that ex-husband? I get it. Unless there was abuse or abandoned kid. How is he holding a grudge after 20 years? Now, don't get me wrong. She did do him a little dirty. She told him she ain't have nothing to worry about with her co-star. And then she came out engaged to the co-star before his divorce to her was even final. And baby, they got a quickie divorce. I'm talking about Ben Affleck. But there were also rumors that his family felt that she was riding all the rides and sliding all the slides with Diddy. Whatever happened, this man thinks that she played him for the full. He posted on his Instagram, and it's his verified Instagram, saying, Diddy party guest list. He said, I'm not on the list, in all caps. To those people in the media outlets asking if I ever went or participated in that POS Diddy, he put Diddy in parentheses, in case we were thinking about different POS, freak-off parties. No and no. Never. But my ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, did. Ask her. And ask her about the blank tapes, the 734 ding-dong, and the baby oil.
If Janice decides to provide proof to keep her monster of a son in jail now that his release date is coming up, she might need to be placed in a witness protection program. What do you think? Will Janice Combs come out to expose the monster she created and finally reveal the dirty female celebs involved with him? Or will she stay quiet till the end? If you want to learn more, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.